Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Itsmiddy here and I'm back again. So somebody requested to see my braiding pattern for sew-ins and I'm here in Atlanta with my cousin Jazzy once again. And of course, every time I come, I have to hook her up with a sew-in. So she's gonna do another middle part. As you can see over here, I already started. I sectioned out her leave out. So that's gonna be her leave out. And then over here is her leave out. And I left hair out in the back. See? So the first braid, I always start from like where my leave out is and I bring it all the way around. All the way around and I stop here. So my second braid, it just creates for a more secure front. So I'm starting the braid up here as well. And it's gonna come all the way around just like the other braid and stop on the opposite side. And when I do my first perimeter braid, I do like to use a little bit of braiding hair just to secure it because I don't want too much stress on the edges. So I'm going to start the next braid and show you how it goes. Alright, so when I take my braiding hair, I make it in 3 sections like this. Like you take this piece, fold it in half. I grab it with this hand. And then the other side, I kind of split it in 3 like I'm about to start braiding. So then I take a little piece of her hair, add it in with the section. I'm not a motherfucking braider, y'all. So then I added, this is her hair, this is the synthetic hair. So you just add it together and you kind of just start braiding. And at the beginning, you do want to apply a little bit of pressure. Like you don't want to pull away from the head when you start braiding because this knot will slide down. And I don't want that. But yeah, so then you just continue to braid around and down. And you see, you just take your time. Make sure you get a clean break. When you bring your fingers through, make sure it's clean and you don't have a bunch of hair just coming from everywhere. Because it's gonna create a nice, neat breakdown for your sew-in. Alright guys, so I want to show you when I get to this part with the previous braid, I just grab the braid and I pull it up. And grip it into my fingers. So when I do my stitching and I get to the bottom, or I don't know what to call it, sorry, you guys can see what I'm doing, but see this braid down here, I grab it and put it with that, and then I just continue to braid regularly. And so that way you don't have a lot of loose ends. And some people keep their loose ends down and they sew them up, but I don't like doing that because people tend to cut their hair when they're taking their sew-in out. And it's kind of difficult when you have black hair and black thread and the sew-in's been for a month and a half and it's all messy and knotty. And then where's the thread? Oh shit, now I have a patch. But anyway, you just continue to braid like so until you reach the other end of the head. And so this is good for when you want to do a sew-in where she can pull it up into a ponytail because it's a seamless, it's very seamless and you don't have to worry about any lumps and bumps. Alright guys, this is another important step to the sew-in. Around the leave out, I do like to leave a really thin braid just to anchor it so you don't have that separation. Because if I do all these braids going down, eventually the track will start to slide and she'll have a gap in her leave out. And I want to leave the least amount out as possible. So by doing this, it creates a little bit of an anchor braid and it keeps it closer to the leave out longer. So I like to section that off and just put it to the side and start my next braid, which I do alternate sides. So I do a braid here, do a braid over there, do a braid over here. You know, it keeps it even. It keeps the bulk towards, if there is going to be any bulk, keeps it towards the back and lower portion of the head so it keeps it flat. So I'm just going to do the same step, parting it like so, nothing fancy. I like to keep it thin. You know, sometimes I know braiding is hard and you get tired of it, bitch, but keep them braids nice and thin because your sew-in and your clients will be a lot more pleased. And so for this next braid, because her hair, she is natural and her hair is pretty strong, I'm not going to add braiding hair just because she's not really a big fan of it. So, oops, just going to get that out the way. And then just start your next braid, nothing really fancy. So start up here. Keep it as close to the head as possible at the beginning. I know y'all hear them nails clacking. Yeah. See? And you just go with the flow. And repeat the same steps. So once I get down here, and you see that braid, I'm going to connect it into this braid just like I did the previous one. Yeah, this, when I get down here, is just going to connect up into that. Alright guys, so I'm down to the bottom. So I get to this point. I grab this braid and I just slide it into my fingers like that. So, and then I just keep braiding. But when I do this first stitch, when I get that new piece in there, I kind of pull it a little bit tighter because I don't want it to be bulky. So I do apply a little bit more pressure right there. But then as I go down the line, I just keep braiding. Bitch, stop.
A little darker because she has like a soft pink, so.
Yeah, so then you just keep going until we get to the other side, and then you just braid it down. Alright guys, so I kind of got into braiding and I forgot that I was recording, but as you can see here, once I got to a certain point, I'm just braiding down, and the braid that's hanging, I connect it into the next braid. So this braid was hanging down, I started this braid and I pulled it up and connected it. I'm going to show you how I do it, but I want to show you on this braid, that my ankle braid that's closer to my leave out, I do use a little bit of braiding hair for that as well, because I don't want to, like I said, put too much tension on her natural hair. So I just start braiding it like so. I'll try to do this quickly so you guys can see. So I'm just braiding for dear life. Sorry, Jazz, if it hurts. Try not to pull too much on your client's hair, because that is the worst, for someone to feel nauseous because their hair is so tight. And I've heard stories. So I always try to make it secure, but I never want to make it too tight, because I don't want a client to take their hair out the next day because it hurts just that bad. Okay, so once I get to the curve of the head, when the head starts to curve down, I'll grab the braid that's hanging like this, pull it up just like we did the other one, and slide it into my fingers like that. So there we have it. And then I do pull a little bit tighter with the first stitch like so, and just continue to braid it down. And I switch my braiding pattern depending on the client's desired style, their hair texture, the thickness, the density, and all that. So if you remember my last video, which I'll link it below, the last time I did her sew-in, I did the double beehive method for that particular sew-in. That's how I was feeling that day. That's how I did it. And now I'm doing it like this today. So you just finished the braid. Okay guys, so I'm done braiding her hair. We are all finished, and this is the braiding pattern. It's gonna lay really nice and flat. If the hair is too thick, you might not want to do this, or you might want to do it a little bit lower and not do as many braids. Alright, so we're all done sewing the hair in. And the hair that we use is from LMSD. It's the Tahitian blown straight. It's supposed to mimic African American texture hair. Look at this bitch. That's my cameraman in the back sleep. Hey, Michelle. Hey. Anyway, so her hair blends so well. I have not done anything to her leave out, so you can't even tell where it starts and stops. But her natural hair starts here, about here, and then the rest is the weave. So we left hair out on both sides as well as in the back. Let's do it like this so they can see how flat it is.
Oh, it's really flat.
It's really flat. This hair is just really big. So I'm gonna blow it out and straighten. All right guys, so we are all finished. This is the hair. It's 3 bundles, 22 inch of the Tahitian blown straight. Like I said, I'll put everything down below, but it is so pretty. This hair is everything, girl. It blends so well. You can't tell me this is not her hair. You cannot tell me. Lift up the back. Pull it up. Yeah. See? It looks so natural. And let's see. You can drop it. See, you can't tell where her hair stops and starts. I just love this hair. But that is about it, guys. See you next time. Peace. Peace.